peace, and soul.
Thursdays, we get to slide into the noon slot as we've got Coach's Show with Jaguars programming coming up later. So helmets and heels bow out. We check in. Brandy's show coming up at 2 o'clock, so your afternoon is ready to rock and roll. We're coming off what was a great day yesterday at the Golf Club of Southampton. We're heading into the weekend. You got some Thursday night ball tonight. Big Surse is suited and booted in all blues. You can log on to YouTube and you can check that out.
I feel like the ocean.
And also see Matt Hayes back after 3 days. So I'll just go ahead and combine all this with a little Corona call to get things going. Welcome back, Matt.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How was Vegas, bro?
Let me just say this. I'm running on no sleep.
Yeah.
No sleep.
Yeah.
See how he glossed past the Vegas part. How was it?
No, Vegas was just, I mean, you know what Vegas is, honestly? So first off, I was there for the Sports Business Journal Forum, which is, you have a bunch of the administrators in college sports and television people there. And, it was really good. It was really good. It was a great 3-day event. Vegas is the id of America. You know that? It truly is.
I like to challenge that theory.
It's like everybody's like, secret obsession for like a day and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And then day 2 rolls over to like day 2.5, and you're like, get me the hell out of this place. I'm not really a gambler. You are the degenerate, okay?
Yahtzee.
Yes.
Yahtzee. There's your answer. Don't tell me that gamblers are saying, get me out of here.
I mean, it's just so flipping much, man.
Yeah.
So much. And it's just.
I haven't been in a while, so I can understand that the shock and awe.
I don't know how people live there, honestly. I don't know how they. I know that most of them live in Henderson in the suburbs. Yeah. I get all that, but man, that's just. I will say this: the convenience of it. You land in that airport, 5 minutes later, you're on the strip.
You're there.
Yeah.
There's like you can go to Lauderdale or anywhere. You land and you're there.
Right. Mm-hmm. You are there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just an overhaul of like bells and whistles everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Bro, it's not even an overhaul.
It's just too much for me.
You're talking overstimulation.
Oh, yeah, overstimulation. Yeah.
And then it doesn't help that I had to fly on the red eye back home, so I'm literally I have zero sleep in me right now. But I'm ready to go, and I'm ready to be fired up about this.
Honestly, the red
Jags
eye is
team
built for you to get a little sleep.
Yeah, it is, but So here's the thing. You know what's so funny?
The people that say they can't sleep, I
sleep on planes all the time. Here's the problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got upgraded. Okay, so and the screens are bigger in first class. So the guy everybody else is sleeping, trying to sleep. Guy in front of me, he's watching some movie it's on bright all the time, and it's shining right through the seat in my face.
You actually got upgraded to first class.
Hang on a second.
Still couldn't sleep?
Yes, hang on. And then the two I can't call them stewardess. That's not politically correct.
Flight attendants.
Yeah. So I was like in the row 3, and they're standing there in the little galley, and they're just yapping away. And it took everything I could possibly do to not go get up, walk over, and say, "I'll give each of you $100 to just shut the hell up." I almost did it. Seriously, I could not sleep, but I'm ready to go, man. I'm fired up. Let's do it.
Fired up, yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, you can tell.
I told you that. I told you before I flew out. I said, Joe, I got a feeling this is going to be a problem, but I'm going to be ready to go.
Look, I know coming out of Vegas, I think everyone still has that extra charge, but I would like to have known that you emptied your wallet, that you lost some of your savings.
I value money way too much to go out there and throw it around.
Those are the things that I want to hear. Anybody goes to Vegas for 3 days and doesn't see a roulette table or a blackjack table or a craps table, something's wrong.
I'm with you, Matt. I'll give Vegas 20, and that's all they get.
Right. I mean, I literally did not do anything. Not one bet, nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also because I was working the whole time, but I don't I value money way too much to do that.
Well, I do too, but I do seem to waste it as much as I value it. I seem to waste it as well. All right, so college football playoff is probably going to be top of mind for us for the next couple of weeks as we head in to the college football playoff from 12 down to 8, down to 4, and then to the championship game, which we cannot wait for. You got NFL talk that we will definitely get into, but let's at least kind of follow what we talked about yesterday, Big Surse, and it's been the talk of really the football world because it's NFL and college football woven together with Belly deciding that he's going to take the hoodie to Chapel Hill and his son too. But I'm looking at some of the numbers, and it's so funny. I just would like to point out that UNC fell into the same old trap that every other college football program falls into. Whenever they get rid of their guy, which they basically fired Mac Brown, they said it's just not working.
Not basically, they did.
Yeah, they fired him. Yeah, we love you. Max, and the only reason they've made sure they fired him is because Max says, I'm coming back next year. And they said, oh, no, you're not. And they fired him. So whenever you fire somebody, you look around, you go, you know what? We need to make sure that we do what the best thing is to make sure our program gets back to where so what do? They went younger. They went younger with their head coach. And a round of applause for North Carolina for the Tar Heels because they made sure that they went younger from 73-year-old Mac Brown to 72-year-old Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
They freshen things up a little bit, which just kind of cracks me up. But what has been people that you talk to, their reaction as far as is it a good idea? Is it a bad idea? Will it fail? Will it work? Anything?
Well, I mean, his former teammates I saw on over the weekend. His former teammates Tom Brady, Gronk, and Ellinger. Is it Edelman? All right, they roasted him. They said they just couldn't imagine him being a college coach because Tom did the best roasting, to be quite honest with you. Tom said, well, he said he's going to go to a kid and say, yeah, no, we want you. It doesn't really matter if you come here. Stay. He got on the fact that Belichick you could come if you want to, or you can go if you want to. So it was a notion where he would tell the kid he wouldn't coddle the kids, basically what he's going to say, but he's going to have to. Mm-hmm. His approach in the professional league has got to be something different at the next level, to be quite honest, because these kids, they want to be told that you want them. NIL money is a factor.
Right.
And all that kind of stuff. So it'll be interesting to see if Belichick – listen, the same reason Nick Saban left because he probably couldn't deal with the kids wanting money.
I feel like that was a big deal.
That kind of stuff. So how is Bill going to be able to – how is he going to be able to deal with that, man?
I honestly think Bill took the job because he wants his son to have the job as soon as he's ready to walk away. Mm-hmm. And that could be as soon as 2 years. I mean, that's –
He's LeBron. He's LeBron. This job.
Look, looking from the outside and just looking at it without knowing how Bill is thinking about the idea of coaching college football, there's no way this thing's going to work. He's not happy with NFL guys making money. Mm-hmm. What do you think he's going to do when a high school kid says, "I want a 3-year deal for $12 million to come be your quarterback"? Well, I mean, he's going to go. You haven't taken a snap, right? He's gonna pay a guy that hasn't taken a, and then he's got Lombardi with him. Lombardi's his GM apparently. Is that right? Mm-hmm. I think he announced that Lombardi's going with him.
Has that whole staff been put together?
Lombardi's his GM. I mean what? I mean I get it. You got it's college football is more like the NFL now. You need a GM. You need a cap guy. There's no doubt about it. Mm-hmm. But dealing with young guys in high school and dealing with 23, 24, and on up men. Mm-hmm. Completely different thing.
Well, he has the benefit of a bench now. He can definitely operate differently if he is able to assemble it.
Well, here's what I say to that, man. Now that these kids are getting paid, they're not going to be coddled. They're paid professionals, so to say. So,
and you know what? If if they don't get coddled, guess what? Bye-bye.
Yeah, I understand that, but
he's not going to be able to take that.
But I know that. But now that these kids are getting paid, I mean, they're no longer amateurs.
No, I agree with that. But my point is,
they can be called out when they're not.
Totally agree. Totally agree. My point is this though: with the Patriots, he had them for 4 years minimum.
True.
He's got them. He has these guys minimum 4 months, and if it doesn't work and they don't like it, they're out. But and there's nothing he can do about it.
There's a fine line between paying them and pampering them. Because you're right. You got to kiss derrieres more than you ever had to before. You got, hey, you good? You staying? You okay? All that stuff. And so now he's going to have to figure out how to operate on that line like you're describing. Hey, you're paid. You've got a job to do. This is what your responsibility is now that you're getting that NIL check and then soon to be payments from the contracts, but it's not easy. We've all seen it because you got to re-recruit on a daily basis.
Not only that, how pissed off do you think Belly's going to be when he develops this 3-star kid, for like a year and a half? The kid develops from a project into a beast coming off the edge or something, and then all of a sudden he says, "Yeah, you're not paying me enough. I'm going to go now." Yeah. You think he's going to like that?
Well, I believe me, and I've.
Or you know what? We only won 8 games last year. I want to go play for Ohio State and try and win a national championship.
Yeah, it's stuff that he's unfamiliar with. That's really the thing I'm saying more than anything else. And he's also unfamiliar with losing on a level that the rules are not the same for everybody. And I'm not sure he's going to be able to combat that.
Well, him and Nick are tight, so I'm sure that he's had conversations with Nick.
Yeah.
On the landscape of what
how to do it. Yeah.
So I mean. I know he, but what Nick probably didn't tell him is the same stuff that you're going into is the reason why I got out of it.
I'm sure Nick told him that, actually. I'm sure he did, yeah.
But Son Stevens not even in this arena. He doesn't really know what
well, he was for the last year. He was at D.C. at Washington with Jed Fish.
But I'm also saying between New England and then to Washington to the command, all that stuff. But, yeah, with Jed, at least he has an idea of what it is. And so he's not 100% unfamiliar, but he ain't 100% familiar because he just barely stepped into that world this past season. And so the other thing is they went from $5 million for Mac to $10 million for the GOAT. And, of course, Bill Belichick said, if I'm coming, you're paying. And here's my plan. They
also went from $4 million NIL to $20 million NIL.
Yeah, which is, and we threw out some NIL money, so they are going to write checks. There's no question about that, and that's the name of the game, and that is something he is familiar with. But as a GM towards the end of his career up in New England, GM didn't help the head coach very much because he just didn't make necessarily the right decisions.
And Matt, this too now. I mean, Belichick coming in, sitting in your making a home visit with a kid that knows who he is, with your parents that know who he is. It's got to have some kind of effect. I remember the Bobby Bowden effect on me when I was being recruited. When I had already committed to Miami, told my parents, "Hey, I'm going to Miami." No, my mama said, "No, you promised Bobby a visit. You're gonna go see Bobby." So I'm just saying.
You know what's interesting?
Yeah,
I hear what you're saying, and you're right. Back in your day, high school kids now. I mean, he can come in there and flash his rings. They don't care. You know what they want? Money. That's where they are. Look, we can complain about it. We can complain about it.
They want both.
They certainly want to be developed, and that's going to be his pitch. His pitch is I can develop you for the NFL.
Yeah.
But they want money, Joe, and we can complain about it. But the reality is that is the format, the structure that we're in right now. These guys are allowed to be paid, and they want money. And even though they've never taken a snap in college football, they don't care. They want money.
Yeah. Well,
so
heck,
that's going to be the difficult part.
NIL.
Yes,
they want money. They want image. They want to be recognized. They
right. So I don't think that the whole look at my Super Bowl rings is going to be something where the kids go, whoa, I'm going to go play for Belly. I think it's going to be how much you're going to pay me, who's going to coach me, and how am I going to get to the NFL.
But I think that's his recipe. He's going to show those rings, and he's going to say, I have not only survived in the NFL, I've thrived in the NFL. And if you pay attention to me, because I got hardware, you're going to figure out the best way to get there, the best way to develop your mind and your body.
Well, I mean, Deion did it.
Yeah,
Deion pulled
100%.
it off. Let me just say this. I don't think Belly maybe has the charisma that Deion has, or the
same
flash.
temperaments though.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Deion does not. Deion doesn't want to pamper these young guys.
No, he's old school.
Yeah,
that's why I appreciate it. Yeah. He gets on them pretty good. They already got what, 41 kids in the portal?
Yeah.
He runs them in, runs them out.
Runs them out. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh my goodness.
And the other thing is he's been able to come in and he's been able to bring added coaches to his staff that has made that team better. Offensive line improved. We know that the defensive line, when we talk about Warren Sapp, that a lot of things improved. And Deion just basically said, I am going to try and run this like what I'm used to seeing, which was an NFL roster, camp, and then ultimately season. And so that's what Belly's got to try and figure out.
He's running it like you come here, you got to work. We don't give our positions. You're going to compete every day.
Yeah.
And if you listen, here's the thing: if you don't have a kid like that with your school, then you just don't let them come. I mean, you as a coach, I'm just saying you got to be lasered in and focused on what you want your team to look like. And Deion's team from the start to where it is right now.
Well, they were 1-11 when he got there. They went to 4-8, and they were bad. They were a bad 4-8 2 years ago, and now 9-3.
And don't forget, he trotted onto a field at Jackson State and put together an unbeaten record. Okay,
back-to-back conference champs.
Yeah, and so he walked in and instantly made a program a winner that had not necessarily been used to that. Yeah,
old school works.
Yeah, and it's funny because people are arguing both sides of this. Will Belly get more attention from the player than Deion? I still believe in a lot of players' minds, Deion gets more attention because, like you said, he's more current. You saw him on television. You know he's prime time. You can Google all that stuff. You can YouTube it, all that stuff. But you can't necessarily – you look at Belly, you see the hoodie. You see someone that doesn't necessarily have that personality outside to what people see on the outside. Once he gets in his program, they start to figure him out. I think they will like him. And by the way, he can identify with 20-year-olds. We've already talked about this. He's got an NIL. He's got his own NIL right now. with his fiance. 100%.
Wait, she's his fiance now?
Well, I don't know. She might just.
I think she's just his girlfriend, bro. You're going way too quick
but,
there.
But I thought they might have. He might have gotten on bended knee. I have no idea.
Oh.
But anyway,
He didn't marry the other one. He just lived with the other girl for how long? 30 years?
This one's 24, so she's not even that old. So.
No, he is the former woman he was with. I think he was with her for like 30 years. Yeah. She was more his age.
So here we go. All right, this is with or without Bill Belichick. Okay, the Patriots. To begin, remember now, the Patriots were a laughingstock and a joke for a long time. They were written into sitcoms. That's how bad they were. Belly gets there. Now, before Belly, they had some success. They had made it 2 Super Bowls, and you can go back to the Bears and all that when the Bears blew them out in that Super Bowl. But with Belichick, 24 seasons of him coaching up there in New England, which is just crazy when you think about it. Win percentage is .690, so nearly 7 out of 10 games they won. 31 seasons without Belichick in New England, and their win percentage was below .500. Division titles, he had 17. The franchise, had 4 without him. Super Bowl appearances, 9 with him, 2 without him. This is, honestly, 6 wins. We all know about that. Yeah. So he was instrumental in a massive amount of success up there, but so was Tommy. Tom Brady had as much to do with that as anybody. That's for sure. What was the record we said after without Tommy? 81 and 101?
Yeah, 81 and 101.
Yeah, something like that.
Not good.
No, not good.
Yeah. It was certainly the formula when everyone said Belly versus Brady, who gets more credit. I think that was answered. That's for sure. All right, so we got plenty to get into. You guys can hit the text line, Designed by Lifetime Enclosure, 641-1010. Jump in on that. Whatever other subjects cooking, we got to get to the college football playoff. Lo and behold, they unveil a 12-team field, and they start talking about expanding it the next day. It really is. It makes me laugh. But also off the text line, this makes me laugh. Matt, you were wise, and you too, Leon, for that. Not judging. I quit 2 jobs evading a bookie, and he may still be around. I get it. Another one said, I spent $7,000 in Vegas in 3 days this summer. Friend, I want to know what you were doing, and let me know, what, if anything, was successful or how you lost it. On what type of table did you drop $7,000 in 3 days? Let us know. It's XL Prime.
How do you know it was on a table, by the way?
Well, it's true. That's why I said right. I need deets. Give me some details right there at 641-1010.
I'm on no sleep. No sleep. You don't know what it's like in there. All night long, things are creaking and cracking, and that red light is burning my brain.
You look a little stressed.
Oh, I'm stressed.
Riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Prime Time on 1010XL. Playoff teams limit their weaknesses. Offense, defense, and special teams all contribute.
All 3 phases come into play.
Listen for the Crown Royal Special Teams Player of the Game.
Sometimes special teams can be fun.
On 1010XL.
Open enrollment is here, so it's time to secure health coverage for your family. Whether you need Affordable Care Act plans, dental, or Medicare, contact Florida First Insurance Group on University Boulevard, an award-winning Florida Blue agency well known for providing superior service. Theo Mitchelson and his team at Florida First make the process easy and stress-free with medical and dental insurance you can count on. Plus, listen to this. Based on eligibility, many people pay absolutely nothing for coverage. Contact Theo Mitchelson and the Florida First Insurance Group today and let your health be their priority. And a reminder for Florida Blue members, visit Sanitas Medical Center with 3 locations in town offering primary care, walk-in services, and on-site pharmacy and mental health support. SANITAS Medical Center. Florida First Insurance Group and Sanitas Medical Center. A winning team in Northeast Florida.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Are you tired of having a plain and boring backyard? Really want to impress your family and friends this year? Then stop by Stone Core on Phillips Highway. Imagine hosting guests at your new outdoor kitchen, relaxing by your custom-built fireplace under a brand new pergola. Stone Core can also remodel your old pool deck and beautiful new pavers. Make your backyard wishes a reality. Visit Stone Core on Phillips Highway and let's get started at stonecore.co. We do outdoors better.
Is your AC ready for the holidays? Bold City Heating and Air ensures your AC stays in tip-top shape. We know that a clean AC is a healthy AC. Upgrade yours for just $96 a month and enjoy free duct cleanings with your new system. Plus, ask about our 0% financing options.
Bold City AC. We got the crew. Bold City AC.
Visit boldcityac.com.
Chris Doring is chomping at the bit to tell you about today's Gators.
Chomp, chomp, chomp.
With Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser. Tuesday mornings on The Drill. Brought to you by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. On 1010XL.
Human trafficking happens in Jacksonville. As a man, you could do something about it. Buy Survivor-made holiday gifts at Rethreaded. From leather goods to toffees and treats, shop in person or online at rethreaded.com. Changing lives through gifting.
Elbow pain, whether acute or chronic, can make it difficult to do normal activities like playing sports, doing household chores, or even sleeping comfortably. Dr. George Barry here, and no one wants to deal with pain without solutions on how to feel better. We've all heard of tennis and golfer's elbow, but there's plenty more that can cause pain, like osteoarthritis, muscle tears, and nerve entrapment. All are treatable at Barry Orthopedics. Getting you back to full health is our mission, and there's a number of different treatment options we can offer. Call us today or visit BarryOrthopedics.com.
Give a unique gift this holiday season with a custom-made candle or body care product from Wick, a candle bar. Make your own product in the store with over 90 fragrances at Wick, a candle bar. Locations in San Marco and Jax Beach.
Homemade cookies baked fresh by Jen. Original 80s band named Ice Creams by Ray. Build your own cookie ice cream sandwiches from scratch. Cookies and Cream Jax Beach. Open till 11 Friday and Saturday, 10 weekdays. Making our beach a better place. Cookies and Cream Jax Beach.
Discover the difference that local expertise makes at First Coast Lighting and Fans. Visit their showroom at the Avenues and browse high-quality products to match your desire for elegance, quality, and uniqueness at First Coast Lighting and Fans.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org and you can apply there.
Apply by May 15th.
Mia here for MyBookie. Our listeners have been killing it in a year full of surprises. MyBookie is the one book that's got your back. No fluff, no second guessing, straight up action. Does your other sports book pay out when you push on a bet? MyBookie pays you back. And if you're new to the game and not sure where to start, we've got you covered. Step 1, use our promo code 1010XL. That will double your bankroll with a 100% deposit bonus right from the jump. Here's a pro tip to get you rolling. The NFL teams with powerhouse offensive lines are dominating the run game this year, and betting game total unders has been printing money. Stack that with MyBookie's risk-free Thursdays. Why wait? That's right there, a new risk-free odds boost every Thursday. To find the bet, click the Bet Boost tab and scroll down. If it hits, you win. If it doesn't, MyBookie refunds your money. Sign up now and get your double deposit bonus with MyBookie, the best sign-up bonus for Florida bettors. Bet anything, anytime, from anywhere with MyBookie.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Prime Time. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool. On 1010XL.
It is XL Primetime, hanging out on a Thursday in the noon hour. We move up noon to 2. Frangie show 2 to 4, and then Jaguars programming coming up after that. You got the Jets coming to town on Sunday, so we will definitely dive into at least a couple of topics. I'll admit it, I felt like seeing the current GOAT if you want to put a name next to or a nickname next to Aaron Rodgers, like, honestly, his credentials are as good as any quarterback out there. Touchdown to interception ratio, we all know only one piece of hardware, but honestly, considered one of the great quarterbacks that we've ever seen. I was stoked when I saw this, that he's going to be in town in December, but he ain't the same guy, man. He is a shell of his former self.
Yes.
And I don't know whether this team can actually get to him. I heard Jaguars today talking about how they're going to pressure him. I don't know whether they're going to get to him or not. They've been up against bad lines, Leon, and they still haven't gotten to the quarterback.
Yeah. He's a shell of himself.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still got the arm, he's still got the accuracy, but he doesn't have the protection, and they don't have a run game.
Mm-hmm.
And you listen, I did a thing with Hacker a couple of days ago because I remember with the Baltimore Ravens, they had the top 5 worst free agent acquisitions in Ravens history. I was number 2. All right, so I was number 2 right behind Elvis Garibaldi. So I'm saying the New York Jets, everything that they invested in Aaron Rodgers, all right, torn Achilles, the hopes of going to a Super Bowl, getting him his coach, getting the coach fired, bringing in guys, bro. It's got to be the worst free agent acquisition in New York Jets history, with the expectations, the Super Bowl, all that kind of stuff. You factor in all that kind of stuff. Yeah. What the grandstanding that went into Aaron Rodgers and what he was going to do and all, and change the culture and all that kind of stuff. And they're sitting right where we are at 3-10.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing like they expected.
Nothing.
And it was funny. We go back to our predictions, and I just didn't know whether or not he would come back from that Achilles. And obviously he's not been able to do it. Other things have been hurting him as well. His age, his performance, and he's been knocked around, that's for sure. So we'll talk a little bit more about the game as we go along today and then tomorrow. But the other one is that one of the texters asked, hey, wouldn't Bill Belichick have a lot of influence with the NFL scouts? So if the kid leaves, wouldn't that hurt that kid's draft spot? I don't know that he's going to be condemning players, but yeah, scouts will reach out.
Yeah, but
they will ask, what's the book on this? Just like they would any other head coach, and he's got the intel better than most.
Listen,
right?
But coaches leaking out bad information on kids, don't let that leak out. Mm-hmm. It will affect recruiting because kids talk. I mean, kids talk, absolutely. Now, do coaches do? I'm about to say, just don't let that leak out because first that's bad PR,
right?
And then now the kid don't trust you. Mm-hmm. You know, but coaches do, you know,
sure.
man.
I think there's
to content.
Yeah, there's like subtle little nuances to coaching college football that Billy doesn't know, and I think that will hurt him initially.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he can't pick it up. I'm just saying there's just little things, you know, recruiting and how you get around, you know, this issue and that issue.
Right.
You got to go through it to learn it, and it's not like the NFL where it's simple. You can hold somebody's job over their head.
Yeah.
So it's different, and he's gonna have to go through a full season of dealing with all this stuff and understanding how it works and figuring out the best way to make it work for him.
Yeah, and he's still running a football program, essentially. He doesn't have to involve himself in school and tutors. He's got somebody to handle all that.
Well, he's still got to deal with that, though.
Yeah, but he's got to do a booster.
You know what else he's got to deal with? You know what else he has to deal with? Coach, my girl, she's not happy right now.
Yeah, stuff that he hasn't.
He doesn't deal with that in the NFL.
Well, do head coaches have to deal with some of that?
A little bit of that. I mean, more so than Billy. All this notion about Belichick, the assistant coaches are virtually a guy who spend most time with the players.
Right.
So who he hires as assistants, because the assistants deal with the kids, make sure they go, have the recruit and all that other kind of stuff. He's going to be, he's the figurehead. He's going to be the orchestrator.
Yeah, let me tell you this.
Master.
He ain't never dealt with helicopter dads, and he's going to now.
Oh, yeah. That part, yeah, that's going to happen.
Yes,
Well,
and that's not, I mean, you got to go through it to understand it.
I'll just give you the legendary story that Nick Saban, that was told by the Miami Dolphins, people inside the Miami Dolphins organization, when Nick went down there. I don't know how long he was down there, but a period of time goes by, and he's walking through the bowels of the stadium, and someone walks past him and says, "Good morning, Mr. Saban, how are you?" And he looked, and she kept walking, and he said, "Fine," and he sent an email came out later that day that said, "Do not address Mr. Saban unless he addresses you." So that's the type of stuff that he was doing from his college days in the NFL. Belly's going to have to figure out from the NFL to the college what he needs to do. And I guarantee you, he'll insulate himself. He won't need to hear a lot of this. He will use the lieutenant.
It's not going to work then. Did he email someone that for real? I mean, that was the unspoken word in Miami with Jimmy, but Jimmy didn't email nobody. That, you didn't speak to Jimmy unless Jimmy spoke to you.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But did he email someone that for real, bro?
He didn't email it. Someone
emailed it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
At the behest of him.
Another texter, number one quarterback 2026, Jared Curtis, sharing his thoughts on Carolina and Bill Belichick, quote, arguably the greatest coach of all time. Definitely want to get up there and meet him. And so those are the types of things that you're going to try and use. Credentials are real. They are. Pay, play, and how fast can I get to where I want to be? All those things are going to be part of this puzzle as to whether he and by the way, he picked a good conference he can win in. Because it is kind of wide open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gig Leon every once in a while and say, hey, you guys still haven't played and won an ACC championship.
But we beat the SEC team, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's true.
Would you now consider a good SEC team? He was going over. He was going over the 2025 schedule, the Canes.
Yeah.
And he's going down the schedule.
So,
and I said, bro, you still got a bad schedule. Hey, we got the Gators. They're 7-5.
First of all, I said Notre Dame first.
Yeah.
And then I said
You did say Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. Florida gets credit to win an argument when you need it, and Florida gets credit to lose an argument when you need it.
Exactly. There's a hot team, bro.
Yeah.
Down the stretch.
They beat the hell out of a 7-5 bowl-bound Gasparilla football team. Pop-Tarts versus Gasparilla. What are you going to do?
I take Gasparilla all day.
All right, so real quick, let's at least look at this. You know what? I'm going to put this on the back burner. We'll bring it up here in a second. I shouldn't be talking about next year's SEC schedule, should I? Before I talk about the college football playoff, just a little bit with Matt, because he hasn't been here since everything was unveiled. But we will get into that coming up in just a second. I like what I see right now, numbers-wise, spread-wise, everything that at least sets up. We mentioned that cold weather is going to have a big hand in I think deciding the Natty, and that you're going to have games that are played in Austin, in Happy Valley, in South Bend, in Elson Stadium, places that we have never talked about when it comes to settling a title. I like that part of it. Initially, Matt, what was the chatter out there at the Sports Business Journal?
Yeah, let me just say this. Right now in South Bend, currently 12 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
I think
chilly.
They're desperately trying not to be prisoners of the moment is what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
They're trying not to say, okay, this looks terrible. This didn't work. That didn't work. This didn't work. We can't do that anymore. I think they're trying not to be that way. The biggest
so
one,
reactive
the
right
big,
now.
yeah, the biggest one of that group of the trying not to do it, is the polls.
Yeah,
is the polls. I mean, look, the reality, you cannot have a poll for 5 weeks because you literally pigeonhole the committee. They are stuck with how they vote at that point. So if you just had no polls, and the only time you saw what the vote was when it finally came out, then you could argue a little bit, but you don't know where a team was or had been or if they've fallen this amount or that amount.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way to do that. But then they start talking about you want transparency, and then when they start talking about there should be transparency, then the next step is, well, then why aren't the votes transparent? Yeah. Why don't you have their votes in every week? If you want to do this show every week and be transparent, have their votes out there.
Yeah, you can make that.
You can go down any number of roads once you start opening up this thing.
Yeah, it's funny because I did read the comment that Lane Kiffin had.
Hang on real quick.
Yeah.
Just real quick. Throwing this out there. Friday in South Bend. High of 28, low of 19.
Yeah. Well, you just said it was how cold right now?
12.
Yeah. So that's all you need to hear. But I did point out that I laughed that Lane Kiffin is one of the guys that will take these situations and troll people and use whatever he can. But he said he commented on Ross Dellinger's post on X, and he reposted and quoted. He goes, "Is this fake news?" He didn't actually really say that, and it was referring to Ward Manuel. Quote, "I want to make sure everybody understands that we value strength of schedule."
That was a big topic.
And Lane, Lane's trolling it.
Clearly the SEC's not happy about it. They're not happy about it at all, and they've got a right to be not happy about it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, Alabama had to beat a bad Oklahoma team. Alabama could have beaten an average Vanderbilt team. Ole Miss could have beaten, at that point, a Florida team that had a little momentum, but they're still better at Florida at almost every position on the field, on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
And they lost.
Yeah, they didn't get it done.
So you can and their response to that is, well, that's because Florida's a good team, or that's because Oklahoma may be 6-6, but they're a lot better than their 6-6 is probably 10-2 in the ACC. You'll hear them say things like that, and it's not. At the end of the day, you got to win.
As long as we call it a natty, everyone's going to be involved.
Yeah, yes. Well, you wanted this super conference. Now you got to deal with it and everything that goes with it.
Yep, we will find out whether they can handle it or not. All right, we got plenty. We mentioned that schedule. Let's get into that coming up just a little bit. Odds and all that we will do coming up. You got Thursday Night Football tonight. You've got the Jags on Sunday. How's Mac Jones and company going to do on the offensive side against that good Jets D? We'll get into all that coming up. It's XL Primetime.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
Looking for a new vehicle? Take a look at Jenkins Hyundai of Jacksonville. Now's the time to save big. Choose from more than 250 new and over 1,000 used and certified pre-owned vehicles on the lot, or shop anytime at JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com. Hyundai has one of the top warranties in the business. Lifetime, powertrain, and 5-year bumper-to-bumper warranty, plus 3 years free maintenance on a new vehicle. Give them the chance to earn your business today on Atlantic Boulevard or at JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com.
Get ready to celebrate December with Best Bet. We're giving away an incredible $660,000 in cash and prizes. Kickstart your holiday fun in Jacksonville with amazing promotions like the 12 Days of Christmas High Hands and $500 High Hand Fridays. At Best Bet Orange Park and St. Augustine, don't miss out on thrilling tournaments and $300 every 15 minutes table game giveaways. For all the details, head over to bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
You don't have to be a football star to get a signing bonus. The team at Republic Services needs your skills, and they're paying up to $5,000 for you to join the roster. You'll be joining a winner. As an essential business, the Republic Services trucks have not stopped rolling with hourly and weekly pay and better benefits and vacation packages than the rest of the league. Driver trainees, $1,000 sign-on bonus. CDL drivers, $3,000. Diesel mechanics, $5,000 bonus. Join the winning team at Republic Services today. Visit republicservices.com.
Equal opportunity employer.
This Day in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On December 12, 1965, Chicago Bears halfback Gale Sayers ties the NFL record for most touchdowns in a game with 6 in the Bears' victory over the 49ers.
When you're injured, you probably have more questions than answers, and all you really want is to feel better. This is Joe C., and I certainly can identify. Well, thanks to Rebound Rehab, I bounced back from a serious case of ankle tendonitis to feel pain-free. And they can do the same for you. 8 locations across the First Coast and a team of physical therapists ready to help. From laser and radio pressure wave therapy to aquatic and massage therapy, they can offer real solutions to help you rebound. Log on, reboundrehab.com, and start your path back to pain-free life.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks, and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality products and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Get off the ladder and put on the helmet with Gutter Helmet of North Florida. We are family owned and manufactured locally. Cleaning your gutters is a dangerous and dirty job. That's why with Gutter Helmet, you'll never clean your gutters again. Water goes in your gutters while trash and debris go on the ground. It won't collect like filters do. Gutter Helmet protects. Call now for 10% off and a free gutter cleaning and tune-up with your purchase of Gutter Helmet. Call 904-762-7779.
Come to Monahan Jewelers' 47th annual holiday sale now with up to 30% off GIA certified diamonds and up to 40% off our entire store. Certified diamonds, gemstones, engagement rings, diamond studs, designer brands. We're not a big box store. We're your local family jeweler with an amazing hand-picked inventory for every budget, and with interest-free financing, enjoy beautiful jewelry with a low monthly payment. Support your local family jeweler this Christmas with up to 40% off our entire inventory. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, open 7 days a week in December.
This holiday season, give the gift of team spirit with FOCO. Apparel, headwear, home decor, and more. Use code 1010XL15 at checkout for 15% off. FOCO ships fast for the holidays. Head to FOCO.com/1010XL.
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. If you've got fogged up windows, let me help. We'll replace them with clear, insulated units that brighten up your home. People say we're fast, friendly, and reliable. Just check out our Google reviews. Call me today. Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Yo, what's happening, fellas? It's your boy E to the T, and I'm gonna keep it real. We could all benefit from a little something extra in the bedroom. Blue Chew can help. Now I'm about to tell you how you can get some for free. Blue Chew is an online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in a chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. No doctor visits, no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Blue Chew ships right to your door in a discreet package. Not even them nosy neighbors gonna know what's going on. Blue Chew's licensed medical providers work with you to find the right ingredients and strength for your prescription. And did I mention the chewable? Just like popping a Mentos. And they're made right here in the good old US of A. Now you're asking, how do I get my Blue Chew? Visit BlueChew.com and make sure to enter promo code 1010XL at checkout. Try it for free and just pay $5 shipping. Turn that oh no into a oh yeah. That's right. Use promo code 1010XL and let your boy hook you up with some Blue Chew. Get your confidence back. Visit BlueChew.com.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. Are the company's Zoom calls getting boring? Might be a good time to order some new logo caps or temporary tattoos. Check them out online at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Jaguars quarterback Mac Jones on what he has seen from rookie first-round pick Brian Thomas Jr.
He's a great player, and as a rookie, everyone's been there, has been a rookie before that's a veteran, and it's tough. There's a lot of things coming at you, different looks, and we have a lot of other good players too. So it's not obviously just him, but he definitely brings that electrifying playmaking ability. He's very smart and he works very hard, so he's all ball for sure. Trying to get him to loosen up a little bit, have a little bit more fun and enjoy it, because it's fun out there, especially when he's making plays.
Mac Jones on BTJ. Jets, Jags, Sunday at 1. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Prime Time, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Noon hour, 20 minutes in front of 1 o'clock. Cold out there. I guess we had a little bit of bad weather that brought that cold in. And then it's, you know how it goes. Our version of winter is a few days, and then let's be done with it. I said to start the show, Big Sirs is suited and booted. Have you ever seen him just like rocking the blue like this, Matty? He is
sharp.
dripping.
Yeah.
With some sweatsuit blue.
I gotta stay warm, bro. Gotta stay warm.
You look like you're getting ready to go to like a New Year's Eve party in New York City. You look like.
No, negative.
Negative? All right.
Nowhere near.
No? Okay.
Looking sharp, man.
Yeah, you're looking good. You're looking good. All right, you guys can pop on YouTube, check it out. You can search XL Primetime or 1010XL and miss any of the show. Just go back, replay the whole thing, check it out. But you can definitely jump in. YouTube chat right there. Of course, the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures at 641-1010. So we've been talking about, obviously, what's going on with the college football world. We mentioned the SEC announced their schedule. The SEC, as we said, yeah, they could be pouting a little bit because most Saturdays, and I think we actually realized a little bit more out of this particular season, more than I thought we would. And I don't know quite how it happened, but there were SEC road games that were in doubt more this year than I think they have been in a while. And it's that Alabama loss to Vanderbilt that you did not expect. The Commodores tearing down goalposts, stuff you just did not expect. LSU, when a team comes rolling in, you think that Ole Miss is going to be able to win that game. They don't. And there's just differences this year in those road games that I just did not expect. And as Matt just said, they're pouting a little bit. Greg Sankey's not happy because he feels like he should be able to get and Ole Miss in or whomever else and Alabama in, and that did not happen.
To be fair to Sankey, I think he's not happy about it, but I also think he thinks like us. Win the game.
Right.
Win the game and you're in.
I hope he does.
He does. He's not happy about it. He recognizes that they have a more difficult road. I think everybody in college football recognizes they have a more difficult road. But but the difference between what the SEC recognizes and what everybody else recognizes is everybody else is thinking, I don't want 5 or 6 SEC teams in there. I don't care how difficult their schedule is. I'd rather have a more variety in the tournament.
As long as you call it a national championship, the Natty is going to include the nation.
Yes.
That's just the way it is.
Yes.
Well, what I'm hoping it doesn't do, I hope it doesn't deter week 0 and week 1 from playing because the SEC teams they play the marquee games in week 0 and week 1. So if they're pissed off, they may take away some of the marquee games because of the difficulty of it that it may cost you towards the end.
Right. Here's another thing too with Ole Miss. You know, you had the loss. You beat Florida, you're in, right? Okay. You beat Kentucky, you're in. You beat LSU, you're in. And those 2 games before the Florida game, they lost them 2 freak 4th down conversions by those teams. All right. Let's say Ole Miss plays, I don't know. Let's say they play Penn State in the non-conference this year, and they win the game. Then they're in. Then I think they could have even absorbed that loss to Florida, and I think they're in. But instead, they play just 4 dogs.
It's true, but here's how they view it, and right or wrong, they say we have so many good Saturdays inside our conference. And if you're an SEC fan, you probably agree. If you're outside the SEC, you may not. But every single Saturday, they feel like it's up for grabs. We just mentioned the road losses that we weren't used to seeing. It took 40 years between wins for Vanderbilt against Alabama. So that was rare. That doesn't happen very often. But they say, why would we add to that? If we have an in-state rivalry, use Florida and Florida State as an example, Georgia Tech as an example, why would we want to add even another game like that if it's not an in-state or a border war against a neighboring conference opponent?
Right.
We're not doing it. And so that's basically their logic.
So I will say this. They better perform well in the tournament. Right? And you can say the exact same thing for the Indianas of the world. Okay? Like if Indiana goes to Notre Dame and loses 31-3, that's a bad sign for teams that don't really play anyone that tough and win 11 games. That's a bad sign. If Tennessee struggles against Ohio State, that's not good for the SEC saying, now granted, Ohio State's an elite team. All right, there's no doubt about that. But still, you got to go up there and play well at least. You can lose the game, but you got to play well. If SMU loses big at Penn State, let's say Penn State like clamps down on them, they lose like 24-3. That's not good.
They're saying you're saying, well, we don't really need to invite 2 ACC schools.
Yes, that's what. I'm not saying that's what the committee's going to think. I'm saying that's what the narrative's going to be coming out of those games. Okay, and on the other end is if Clemson goes there and beats Texas, then it's like, well, what the hell? This team played your championship game.
So
you're whining about teams, right? So the tournament itself, I think, will answer a lot of these questions.
So I mean, the ACC is basically auditioning. If they
sure, absolutely. So is Indiana. Yeah,
I mean, because we know it's the SEC Big Ten Invitational. All right, we know it.
For that matter, so is Notre Dame. Honestly,
well, Notre Dame, I think, always has some special exempt status.
They do, but believe me, if they lose to Indiana, that's going to go bye too.
Oh yeah, but the other thing is the Group of 5. Group of 5's got an opportunity to prove something. How the heck Boise State got into a bye position as opposed to just barely clinging to give me some respect card. That's
by the way, they're going to beat Penn State.
That's what I love it. I started putting
SMU. SMU might beat Penn State.
Put my predictions together, and there are definitely some. I think really
Boise's
solid
getting the semis.
storylines.
I really do. I think they're going to get to the semifinals because they can run the ball. Obviously,
and they proved the other day they got a big front. That
Maddox Madsen's a really underrated quarterback. Doesn't turn the ball over, and they're second in the nation in sacks. They get after the quarterback.
Yeah. Well, I like what I'm seeing. We're just going to find out because the point spreads, Leon and I went over them yesterday. There's only 1 or 2 double-digit forecast spreads right now. In other words, you're going to have one coming up with the first round, and then they started projecting what the next round could look like.
Right.
And I think out of the 4 games, there was only 1 double digit. Does that sound right? That's what we went over yesterday based on who beats who. And so we still need to see it on the field. We still need to see whether.
I mean, look, if SMU goes into State College and wins that game, by the way, a high of 27, I think, at State College on Saturday. If SMU goes in there and wins that game, which they could, and it's because, by the way, Penn State's been known to gag in a big game.
Yes,
okay?
yes.
If SMU wins that game, Boise State is getting to the semis. They will beat SMU in that game.
I don't know about that.
I'm telling you right now, they will, man. On that turf
tell you.
in a dome, they will beat SMU.
I tell you one that I am just red hot on right now is the Sun Devils of Tempe.
Yeah,
they are red hot right now. And even though the Heisman's going to be handed out this year with a number of Heisman hopefuls that are invited to New York, I'm going to go with what is his name, Scatterboo, next year. That guy is so fun to watch.
They could beat Texas.
Oh yes,
they could beat Texas, man.
They're scary. They really are. So you look at them and definitely can look forward to what I think should be some great matchups. Both sides of the ball well represented. All right, 641-1010. I've been talking about that. Let's at least sneak in a little Jaguar talk before we hit the top of the hour. And how big is this game for a Mac Jones? We mentioned some things down the stretch, Leon, that you and I were talking about that Maddie can jump in on as well. What can you gain? You're trying to come out of the abyss that this team was in, okay? They were lower than whale poop basically for a big majority of this season, just sinking right to the bottom of the ocean. And they finally get to that third win, pat on the back, pat on the head, feel a little bit better. But how do they follow that? And are we going to see something better offensively against the New York Jets?
Well, you would hope so. I mean, I know there was a lot of fans that said that why did we win that game last week because it hurts our draft status. Well, because you want to win the game because, I mean, there's something good that had to happen in that locker room and watching that film. They had to see themselves having success. They did something last week that we haven't seen them done all season long, which is finish. They finished on both sides of the ball with a drive for the touchdown and defending late to keep them out of the end zone. So, I mean, what I'm looking for, I'm looking at I'm just looking at guys that could be little pieces for us youth-wise that we could utilize next year. Tank, BTJ, Vontrell Miller, those type of guys, Jones, those type of guys, Strange, those type of guys you want to see continue to have success down the stretch. So, you know, they'll be hopefully a building block for us next year.
They went from the first overall pick to 8. They dropped 7 spots by winning that game.
Yeah,
that's wow. I'm with Leon. I think it's a young dude. It's a young dude rest of the season right now. Be great to see Jarian Jones kind of develop a little more. He's shown flashes. If they're somewhere around 8, they're going to pick corner. There's no doubt they are.
Wouldn't take Graham?
Nah, I think
tackle from Michigan.
I mean,
somewhere interiorly that could disrupt.
After you just took Mason Smith with his second round pick the year before.
Well, you take him. You say you missed on him. It's been a healthy scratch all season.
Just to be clear, they're top 5 choosing right now. Okay?
I thought they were 8.
No, they're 5th.
But CBS Sports has them at 8.
They don't know what they're talking about.
All right. I'll just ask you from now on.
You know
okay?
where I go? I go to the Tankathon. Okay.
Right.
I think the Tankathon is an authority on who's picking.
Are you sure that's not alphabetical there? All those 3 and 10 teams?
Who sucks most? Well, here's the way it's listed right now, and they have win percentage and strength of schedule factored in. And I believe, because we were looking at it, the young son-in-law moved up in the power rankings, little Joey McCarrick this past week, because I went with him and his brother Jake to the Titans game. I was up in the press box. They were in the stands. And so we leave and we go to the corner pub after that, and we're looking at win percentage. It's like, wait a minute. Jacksonville beat Tennessee, yet they're higher than Tennessee. And it doesn't look like they're anticipating or projecting anything other than what you've done to this point. Win percentage for Jacksonville, just like all the others, is 231. Okay? All the 3 and 10 teams right now. But the strength of schedule, at the very least, is factored in right now. Strength of schedule for New England, 3 and 10. Even though Jacksonville beat them, their strength of schedule is 462. Carolina's next 484. Jacksonville next 489. Tennessee next 511.
How many 3 and 10 teams are there? 4 or 5,
there
right?
Are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6. Wow.
7. 6. Yeah. 6. So you got New England, Carolina, Jacksonville, Tennessee, New York, the Jets, and Cleveland all tied right now. You got New York, the G-men, picking second as a 2-11 team behind Vegas. So whenever these next two games,
Because they're up on the Patriots because they beat them head-to-head.
Yeah.
Right? And then they're up on the Titans.
But they're behind the Titans right now because of strength of schedule. At least that's the way
That can't
it's
be
listed.
right.
Yeah, at least that's the way it's listed.
See, that's why I go with CBS Sports, because you're at some kind of weird, I don't know what you're doing there.
Well, let me just see if I can't. I like tanking.
Anyway, point being, that I don't. Can you really take a defensive interior line when you just spent a second-round pick on him? Are you going to admit 1 year later that you blew it?
Well, you can if he.
You can if you're the new GM.
Yes.
But what if it's the same GM?
Well, I guess I'm operating.
Which Leon and I both believe it's going to be the same GM.
Yeah. Let's make this the 10-10 take real quick, okay? Because this is a little scary right now.
Now, Joe C's 10-10 take. Slow smoked and served up by Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmasters since 68.
Sonny's, they definitely were part of our great day yesterday with Toys for Tots. We say thanks to them. You can definitely enjoy some great barbecue, lunch, dinner, parties, tailgate, whatever it might be. Drop on by any one of your area Sonny's. So we opened our show yesterday and we said, hey, how does Duval feel about this? Bill Belichick has now been hired. He's going to go coach the North Carolina Tar Heels. He's off the table as a possible hire here in Duval. And you're saying to yourself, that's one less guy that Shad Khan may be enamored with. And now they can look beyond that because people were wondering whether or not bringing Belly here would actually cure everything. But to you guys' point, now that he is gone, is that one less guy that Shad Khan looks at to come in and fix things and therefore maybe stays with the guys that are currently in the building. That's the 10-10 take. That is scary, man, because now if let's just say he was enamored with Belly and Belly would have meant that he would have come in here, gotten power, he would have blown both Balky and Peterson out. Well, now he's not a possibility. That's scary. That's to you guys' side. I hope like heck.
And we've been saying that for what, 3 weeks, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 weeks.
Yeah, about 3 weeks.
Well,
I'm telling you, this team is going to run the table.
They are not, bro.
They're going to win at least 3 out of 4. They're going to win 3 out of 4, and they're going to bring them back.
Yeah. If they
What?
Yeah.
We're going to have to have some kind of gentleman's bet on that.
All right.
And I'm not talking money. I mean like lunch or something like that.
Oh, it's on then. It's on.
Okay,
Bro,
all right, let's keep
it's-
it going into the 3 o'clock hour. That part is a little scary. Now that Belichick is not one of the possibilities, will Shad be more inclined to keeping the guys around? Me hopes no.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers. Pick the winners and be a winner.
Who's the winner?
Make the best picks and win a pizza party from Salvatore's Pizza at Tapestry Park.
I said, who's the winner?
Pick the worst. You'll still win some pizza. It's called the Weekly Pick'em at 1010XL.com. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Mia here for MyBookie. Our listeners have been killing it in a year full of surprises. MyBookie is the one book that's got your back. No fluff, no second guessing, straight up action. Does your other sports book pay out when you push on a bet? MyBookie pays you back. And if you're new to the game and not sure where to start, we've got you covered. Step 1, use our promo code 1010XL. That will double your bankroll with a 100% deposit bonus right from the jump. Here's a pro tip to get you rolling. The NFL teams with powerhouse offensive lines are dominating the run game this year, and betting game total unders has been printing money. Stack that with MyBookie's risk-free Thursdays. Why wait? That's right there, a new risk-free odds boost every Thursday. To find the bet, click the Bet Boost tab and scroll down. If it hits, you win. If it doesn't, MyBookie refunds your money. Sign up now and get your double deposit bonus with MyBookie, the best sign-up bonus for Florida bettors. Bet anything, anytime, from anywhere with MyBookie.
We're HAPPY, because Happy Honda Days are here. Everything is bigger. Bigger selection, bigger discounts, bigger trade-in values. Honda, quality, value, safety. Don't miss Happy Honda Days, going on now at your local Honda dealer.
Experience the winning combination of style and performance with Renewal by Andersen, energy-efficient, custom-built replacement windows and doors. Right now, buy one window or patio door and get one 40% off. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. The first 50 customers get a free True Screen upgrade, but this offer expires December 31st. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com for details.
License number CGC 1527613.
Brackish Vodka, the official vodka of UNF Athletics, 100% made in Jacksonville, is available at all local liquor stores. Visit Browdy's, Total Wine, ABC, Shores, Golden, Sahara's, Golden Ox, and more. Drink our gluten-free San Francisco Spirit award-winning vodka and see why it's the smoothest vodka you can buy. When you drink Brackish Vodka, you support all of our local employees, and all the money stays in Jacksonville. Drink Brackish Vodka and live life slightly salty. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
It's kind of like his own private locker, and you're his guest.
Every time we talk, I'm reinvigorated by my love of the game.
Hayes Carline here. Find my blog at 1010xl.com.
Hayes Blog is brought to you by Roland Reach Plumbing, where quality and experience count.
There's no way to prepare for the impact an accident makes on your life. That's why we've spent 40 years getting ready for that moment when you need compassion and immediate action. The right doctors, investigators, our team of experienced attorneys, and your free consultation is already in place. So if you've been hurt, remember, the Farah safety net is right here to catch you. All you have to do is call Farah and Farah. It's what we built. Jacksonville.
Value or flavor? Price or taste? Why choose when you can get both with everyday deals at Sonny's? Right now, you can get the pork big deal for $10, the pork and rib combo for $12, and all you can eat ribs for just $19.99. Yep, you heard right. All your favorites are now available all day, every day. And that's why it's always Sonny's here. Sonny's Barbecue, local pitmasters since '68.
Human trafficking destroys lives. You could do something to create hope this season. Make an end-of-the-year donation to Rethreaded. Your gift helps provide employment and support services for local survivors of human trafficking. Visit rethreaded.com and click on the tab to donate.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
O'Reilly.
Need parts now? O'ReillyAuto.com can help. Need them fast? O'Reilly is fast. Whether you choose in-store pickup, same-day home delivery, or next-day home shipping, we've got you covered. Get more parts your way at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
For 79 years, each Gator Bowl game wrote a chapter in a story filled with excitement, celebrity, and a touch of drama. The game has seen iconic coaches like Bear Bryant, Vince Dooley, and of course, Bobby Bowden. Football stars like Larry Zonka, Archie and Peyton Manning, and Michael Vick. The 80th chapter features Duke and number 14 Ole Miss. Thursday, January 2nd in primetime on Bill Gay Grounds at Everbank Stadium. Tickets on sale now at TaxSlayerGatorBowl.com.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Want to grow your hair back?
IHRS right here in Jacksonville is the only hair transplant clinic in the country that offers multi-unit hair grafting, FUE NeoGraft hair transplants, and the 45-minute effective PRP treatments.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
Thank you, IHRS.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Schedule a free evaluation and find out how to grow your hair back and keep the hair you have. Call 904-777-IHRS. Take the first step to restoring your hair today. Visit hairforme.com.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
IHRS has been restoring hair for men and women for over 30 years.
Call now for a free in-person or virtual evaluation. 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Or visit hair4me.com.
This is Molly McDonald with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, brought to you by the YMCA. The coaching carousel has made its impact across the state of Florida, with most noticeably being the departure of UCF head coach Gus Malzahn. Malzahn has spent the last 4 seasons with the Knights, and at the conclusion of the season, decided to step away and become the next offensive coordinator at FSU. Malzahn spoke on his relationship with Mike Norvell and what made FSU so appealing.
Yeah, I started out as an offensive coordinator in college football. I love coaching. I'm an old school football coach, and it was a great opportunity for me. Obviously, with Coach Norvell, we have a history, together, and then this is a place you can win the whole thing. Of course, I've coached against Florida State in big games before, and so just happy to be here.
It's 56 degrees at 1 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is XL Prime Time, brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
A little cooler weather outside. Don't forget, I always say Florida Home AC, but don't forget, they can work on the hot side as well, okay? HVAC, that means they got heat pumps along with that cold air. Nothing like that heat pump coming on for the first time, when you got to make sure you get a little warm.
You turn your thermos, you turn it up. I keep mine at 70.
You get that little burn smell.
Yeah, just that little teeny tiny bit of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's around 70, 69, good number. Just around there. But yeah, I think I'll have it way down at night. I don't know what it got down to last night, but I don't.
You have the heat on?
I don't want that thing popping on. I don't mind like 63 or 65.
Yeah, I never turn the heat on, man.
Night.
Never.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hardly ever. We do turn it on, though.
Do you?
Yeah. TLD. She's a fragile, beautiful woman.
She is. There's no doubt about that. 100%.
Yeah. So.
But you turn the heat on, you get the called the meat sweats.
Oh, I've had the meat sweats.
Just throw another hoodie on, man.
Yeah, I know about that. Well, I'm not the biggest blanket guy.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
All right. So instead of us talking about sleeping habits or how many blankets you've got,
I haven't even got a chance to mention that just beautiful 10-6 win.
Mm-hmm. It was honestly.
It might have been like the ugliest game I've seen since I've been back in Jacksonville.
Well, imagine being there in person. Okay, not being able to escape. Looking back and seeing the leader of the franchise making the personnel picks, just kind of looking at you, kind of dead staring at you a little bit. Me, Hayes.
I mean, we've gone through 2 worst teams in the NFL seasons, and I don't think any one of them were worse than that game.
Well, this is the battle of the bad. We said this earlier in the year when they beat New England in London, that as far as the bad teams go, they're the best. And as long as you beat the teams that suck more than you.
By the way, how bad is Will Levis? Seriously.
But if you watch that game, like I've been in that stadium.
They're 100% picking a quarterback. 100%.
Yeah, well, I've been in that stadium a couple times where I have officially seen the worst quarterback performance that I think I've ever seen. And Vince Young was one of the other ones. Vince Young played one of the worst games I have ever seen in that stadium. And Will Levis got right there with him. Honorable mention or close to it. He's terrible.
There's no way they pass on Shedeur Sanders if they're 1 or 2. No way.
I wouldn't think so. But again, right now we're trying to figure out which of these 3-10 squads is going to be up there. And strength of schedule does seem to me that that's going to be the one thing they're going to lean on as far as the tiebreak first. But the New York Giants are trying to do what we're talking about. Make sure they don't win again.
They might be tanking.
Yeah, that's what I just said. They make sure they don't win
might be
again.
Tanking.
They don't want to use the word tank, but I'll just give you the classic example, and this is where bettors can at least lean in and pay attention, and not saying this is a 100% foolproof, but when you go from your first-string quarterback to your third-string quarterback and you jump over the guy in the middle, you're telling everybody that you are done. And so they went from sitting down Danny and then basically releasing him and going to, Tommy DeVito. And then Tommy DeVito ended up getting a little dinged up, so they had to go back to Drew Lock. Well, Drew Lock was looking around like, wait a minute. I've been second on the depth chart this whole time. And it wasn't any better, obviously, when they went to him. But That is a team that is checked out.
Right. New coach, first overall pick.
Brian Dable probably done.
Yeah.
And how do you address your locker room when you know that your organization is clearly tanking, and you want me to go out there and risk myself and play a 3-hour game when you know that you don't have our team in the best interest? How can you look at yourself in the mirror?
Yeah.
Huh?
I know.
They want you to go out there and be physical and put your leg and limb on the line when you clearly you're tanking to get a better draft pick.
And you put yourself in that locker room, and you know that whenever you go out on the football field through training camp and whatever during your work week, and the starters are going to get most of the snaps, but you know who the second string guy is.
Yeah.
And when they jump to the third string, they're
basically telling you we're trying to lessen the opportunity for you to win football games. But yeah, we want you to dress every Sunday and give maximum effort.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here.
And I don't know exactly. I'd have to take a look and see who they play coming up on Sunday and what the point spread is. But there are teams right now that are looking around, going, "Wait a minute, we got 2 teams that are 2-11. We got 6 teams that are 3-10, and we got Travis Hunter and Shador and whomever else that you might have mocked up there."
Cam Ward.
You got a lot of
we
coaching.
might need to get in line.
You got a lot of NFL coaching staffs starting to just repeat the message over and over and over that you're professionals. You have a job to do in the locker room week after week after week.
Yeah, I can understand that, but you're not giving us the best opportunity to win when you get rid of the first string, who's terrible, by the way, and you gave him a max contract, and you leap over the second string guy, who, by the way, is probably getting first team reps, to go with the third string guy.
It's not unlike, the boat here, because Danny led them to the playoffs, and then they committed to him and then tanked. And they've been terrible the last 2 years.
Well, yeah, but what do you mean committed to him and then they tanked?
Not tanked. I mean, I'm not saying they started tanking 2 years. I'm saying their team kind of tanked.
Oh, yeah. Just
once they
unraveled,
committed to him,
apart.
they were terrible.
But it's worth pointing out that Brian Dable may be out of a job up in New York, and that probably seems more likely than unlikely. Doug Peterson may be out of a job here. You guys can debate that. You guys don't necessarily think so. Coach. But those 2 guys were up for Coach of the Year 2 short seasons ago.
Yeah.
One guy beat the other guy out. Both guys got their teams to the postseason when you didn't expect it. And Dable got a hell of a lot of credit that year when he got Coach of the Year for resurrecting Danny.
You're still not happy about that, him getting that Coach of the Year, are you?
Well, I thought Doug did a better job with less. Didn't really matter to me, but I still feel like Dougie probably should have gotten it. But it's New York versus Duval, so they gave it to Dable. And I like that guy individually. I think he's a good coach. I don't know if he's a good head coach necessarily. But anyway, they had to put their money in Danny's back pocket. And they said goodbye to Saquon. Here's your $40+ million or whatever that they gave to Daniel Jones, and it just didn't work out. It's been a disaster. They haven't. What else do they have up there? We always talk about what star power does this team have? What star power do they have up there in New York right now?
Neighbors.
Yeah,
they got a pretty good edge. They got a pretty good edge.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a pretty good edge. So they've got a receiver, an edge, a left tackle.
Who's been hurt?
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're right. They don't have much. I mean, their defense isn't bad.
What has their edge done, honestly?
You talking about Thibodeau, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's done as much or more than Trayvon Walker.
Well, you could look him up, but he kind of peaked a little bit towards the end of last year. I guess I haven't heard him do too much this year. It's funny, you take a look at just some of those guys, and there's just not a lot there roster-wise, I guess is what I'm saying. A lot like you could say about here. And that's why you can use the Giants. You can use the Jets as an example. The Jets blew
Trayvon's
everything
having
out.
a better year this year than
How much?
Thibodeau. Trayvon's having a better year than Thibodeau. I think Trayvon's having a pretty good year, actually.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't think Kayvon was like turning heads.
He's missed 4 games, too, Thibodeau.
Yeah, I didn't think he was turning heads in a bunch of ways, but that team is looking like they're void of talent. This team definitely is looking like they're void of talent in some key areas. They still don't get to the quarterback nearly as much as they should. They definitely have given up scores and scores of yards against good football teams that can come in and throw it around. The run game's going to be non-existent again this Sunday, or will it actually come alive? Because Tank came alive towards the end of that game against the Titans, but up for the first 3 quarters, it was miserable offense. I don't care whether it was throwing the ball or running the ball. None of it was working.
Well, I mean, listen, they surprised me. The Jaguars' offensive line, their ability to run the ball towards the end surprised me. Because against that defensive front, I thought it was going to be a mismatch. But somehow that offensive line found a way to, scrap and tank brand hard and get some. Same thing I'm thinking this year. I mean, this game against that Jets front four, we shouldn't be able to run the ball.
Right. The Jets are, I mean, honestly, I know they have the same record. The Jets are a much better team.
No, what I'm saying is last week.
Again, this is where I think you might be working on little sleep.
Hang on 1 second. So they've lost 5 of their last 6, okay? The Jets have lost 5 of their last 6. All right? Now, let's look at the losses and how they lost them. The Patriots by 3. Beat the Texans. Lost at Arizona by 25. That was a bad loss. Okay? Lost by 1 to the Colts. Lost by 5 to the Seahawks. Lost by 6 to the Dolphins. If this team plays that schedule, bro.
I think they're both looking at the same schedule. They're losing 5 of 6.
It's also the way you lose the games, too.
Well, look, we can go over the Minnesota Vikings are right now back on a, 5-game win streak, something like that. Either 4 or 5-game win streak after losing 2. This team held them to a low number of points. This team did a decent job against the Houston Texans until late in the game. I mean,
it's actually similar. It's actually similar. They lost to the Packers by 3.
Yeah, we can argue good loss.
Lost to the Eagles by 5.
They're all L's.
Lost to the Vikings by 5. It's actually very similar. Got blown out by Detroit, just like the Jets got blown out. Lost to the Texans by 3, and then beat a bad Titans. So it's very similar. You're right. It's very similar.
They basically have, I believe it's 9 games where it has been won by 5 points or less or lost by 5 points or less. They've only won 2 of those. So they've not done a whole hell of a lot, but they've only won 2 of those. And the rest of them they have figured out 5 points or less. This was a 4-point win. The other one was a 3-point win over the Indianapolis Colts earlier in the year, but the rest of them have all been L's. And so, they both do not look good. But let's not – I am not saying the New York Jets look that much better than the Jacksonville Jaguars right now. Not the way Aaron Rodgers has been playing. Not their lack of running game now that Breece Hall's been hurt. Defensively, that's what they are. They're up, down, just like this bunch. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, XL Prime Time.
If I'm betting on Mac or Aaron Rodgers, I'm betting on Aaron Rodgers.
Well, one's a backup, the other's going to the Hall.
Right. So, I mean, he can be struggling all he wants. I'm still betting on him.
Yeah, but it's funny. Anybody who's watched, and my buddy Dick, always a diehard Jets fan, and he's like, how bad is Aaron Rodgers right now? Because he wanted him to be so much better than he was. And Ed the Fireman and Dick O from Rockaway, all those guys, they can't believe how much he fell off. And as a matter of fact, let's do a quick, bold fact right now, just based on that right there, okay?
Here's a bold fact brought to you by Bold City Brewery, Duval's first craft brewery. Online at boldcitybrewery.com.
So he is completely fallen off, Aaron Rodgers has. And we know there's just nothing like what we expected to see from him. So let's get to a bold fact. Thanks to Bold City Brewery, you can find them as you are heading to the Jags-Jets game. Look for them right there on Bay Street. As soon as the Main Street Bridge where you empty out downtown, you can find Bold City Brewery right there. Go get your cold one. And then also the production house in Riverside on Roselle, and they've got the great Thursday night lineup with the smash burgers, and then you've got Friday night music, so definitely check it all out. So, an Achilles rupture for Aaron Rodgers, and we know that he ain't the same dude. He is not playing up to the level that you would expect. Kirk Cousins also had an Achilles injury later than Aaron Rodgers. He comes out this year and starts off pretty dang strong. They're at the top of the NFC South. Well, since then, they have gone on a terrible losing streak, and he is throwing a ton of picks. So, the last 4 games, they have gone 0-4, and his touchdown to interception ratio is 0-8. He's not thrown a touchdown, and he's thrown 8 picks. His quarterback rating is 45. So,
is that right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So then prior to that, he had 20 touchdowns and no interceptions?
Yeah. I don't know how many interceptions he had to begin with, but
he's got 8 right now.
Okay,
he has 20 touchdowns.
He has thrown 8 interceptions in the last 4 games.
So that's what I'm saying. So he had 20 touchdowns and no picks.
Yeah, I'm just going to say yes. I'm just going to say yes to that because I didn't realize that. He's the first quarterback with 8 interceptions and 0 passing touchdowns in a 4-game span since who? So not a single touchdown and 8 picks over 4 games. First to do it since who?
I'm going to say the boat.
The boat is capable.
What 4 games are you talking about, man?
These last 4. I love when you start looking at the facts.
Well, I mean, the last 4 games, he's got 5 touchdowns and 1 interception.
Yeah, you might want to go back and get over that red eye, because I know what the Falcons have done.
I thought you were talking about Rodgers.
No, I said Kirk Cousins.
All right, then it is the red eye. All right,
yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, my gosh,
that's because you kept saying. I'm like, wait, that's not right.
I said
all right,
that Kirk
I didn't hear you.
Cousins had a ruptured Achilles after Aaron Rodgers.
I misheard.
He's come back.
I heard Rodgers.
They were leading the NFC South.
Right.
I'm just repeating all the things I did say.
Right.
It said
because I heard Rodgers and immediately thought, "There's no way you're wrong, Joe." And I started looking at it.
Yeah, I know.
And then I tuned out.
So one more time.
All right, please
A
do.
4-game span where Kirk Cousins has thrown 8 interceptions and 0 touchdowns. Who's the last guy to do that? Who's the last guy to do that?
Is that good?
No, it's not. It's bad.
The last guy had 4 games, 8 picks. Jameis.
That's a very good guess,
That's a very
too.
good guess. I'm going with the boat.
All right, those are excellent. This happened. Yeah, it's a very good one. This happened in 2005, so the boat was just a little lad.
Wait, so give us a chance to guess it then.
Running
2005.
around the Popka back then. 2005.
The boat's from a Popka? I know the boat's from a Popka.
Didn't he? Is it a no?
Oviedo.
Oviedo.
Okay.
I was going backwards. Thank you.
It's all good.
Is it Popka?
2005?
Yeah, 2005.
2005.
Who was just god awful in 2005?
It's going to be somebody like Patrick Ramsey or somebody like that. I guarantee it.
All right, we got to get to it.
I'm going with Patrick Ramsey. Who is it?
Blaine Gabbert.
It's the guy who threw a ton of them. It's Brett Favre. Favre in 2005. 8 picks in 4 games without a single touchdown. It's XL Prime.
Cruising with XL Prime Time in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. He wore 56 and played a key role in their best season ever.
I'm your tape translator, Jeff Loggeman, on Check the Tape Tuesday on Jaguars Today.
Brought to you by Napa Auto Care. Tuesdays during football season on 1010XL.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. We're moving closer to the playoffs in the NFL and college football. It's a perfect time to play and win with Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with more than 10 million active members. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch your winnings roll in. Think Joe Burrow will throw for more than 2 touchdown passes? It's just that simple. And now you can win up to 100 times your money with as little as 4 correct picks. Prize Picks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out even if your lineup isn't perfect. That's right. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit and cash out as quickly as 15 minutes. Now, here's the best part. Prize Picks is the only real money daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy. That means your lineups stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the promo code JAX, J-A-X, and get $50 instantly when you play 5. It's all there at Prize Picks. Run your game.
Make a crucial catch against colon cancer. Hicken here for the Borland Groover Foundation. If you're 45 or older, the ball is in the red zone to get screened. The key to surviving colon cancer, early detection and prevention. 45 is the new 50. Get screened for colon cancer now. The Borland Groover Foundation is a nonprofit organization devoted to building a healthy and equitable community that is free from colon cancer. Visit BorlandGrooverFoundation.com for more.
Barley and Pie Brewing Company in Fleming Island is excited to announce an all-new happy hour, 7 days a week. You heard right. Every day from 3 until 6 p.m. and again from 9 until close. Barley and Pie has deals you can't resist. 2-for-1 clay lights, 2-for-1 house wines, and much more. Experience the all-new happy hour at Barley and Pie Brewing Company in Fleming Island.
Ever wonder how you can transform your living spaces into captivating works of art?
At First Coast Lighting and Fans, they offer a huge selection of high-quality products to match your desire for elegance, quality, and uniqueness. Visit their showroom on Phillips Highway at the Avenues and step into a world of quality without compromise. Discover the difference that locally owned expertise makes and let them help you experience the transformation from average to extraordinary at First Coast Lighting and Fans.
Hey, Jaguars fans, as the official whiskey of the NFL, it's not a kickoff without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. And that's why we've built the Crown Royal Rig. An absurdly awesome 18-wheeler delivering the generous spirit to stadiums and tailgates across the country. Follow the Royal Rig on its journey from city to city, bringing together local cuisine, NFL legends, and the opportunity to pack a purple bag for charity and win tickets to Super Bowl 59. Visit crownroyal.com for rules and more, and please drink responsibly.
I insist on complete honesty.
You can chime in anytime on the 1010XL text line.
Installed by Lifetime Flooring.
If you have something to say to me, I wish you would just say it.
Share your opinion.
Nuts?
What? 641-1010.
It's crazy.
The Money Pages brings you the Red Zone featured player of the week. Number 1, Jaguars running back Travis Etienne Jr. Travis played college ball for the Clemson Tigers and was drafted by the Jags in the first round in 2021. Pick up this week's Jags game program with a commemorative ticket of Travis Etienne inside. Download the Money Pages app for weekly specials. Money Pages, official sponsor of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a septic tank emergency.
Don't let your holidays go down the drain. Duck Rooter's here to save your Christmas cheer. Whether it's a stubborn clog, a burst pipe, or a septic scare, we'll fix it faster than Santa can slide down a chimney. Duck Rooter. Call us now and save the day. 904-862-6769 or visit duckduckrooter.com. Duck Rooter, because nobody wants a silent night in the bathroom.
Blue for Shinatri Chiropractic. They've helped me get rid of my headaches and pain in my neck and back. Are you suffering from an auto accident? What about TMJ pain? Headaches associated with jaw clenching, grinding of the teeth, or stress-related disorders? Shinatri Chiropractic has a physical therapist on staff for rehabilitation, quality chiropractic care, dry needling, massage, and acupuncture. Call 743-6700 or go to ShinatriDC.com.
1010XL's Army-Navy focus is defended by Superior Fence and Rail, where quality matters.
I'm former Army Sergeant John O'Leary. West Point, a program known for its grit, both on the battlefield and the gridiron, honoring the soldiers of the 101st Airborne Division, just 2 days shy of the 80th anniversary of the Battle of the Bulge. Now, Army looks to make the history books once again, this time by beating Navy in our nation's capital, en route to the rendezvous with destiny.
If you're tired of your fence looking like a bad hair day, well, it's time for a fence makeover with Superior Fence and Rail. They'll make your yard the talk of the town with a new fence installed by their expert team.
Your fence is fantastic. My fence is giving all of my neighbors some serious pick and envy. Thanks, Superior Fence and Rail.
So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail for your fence installation project today.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com. 1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Is XL Prime Time. Brought to you by Florida Home AC. Now that's cool on 1010XL.
Hanging out on a beautiful but cold Thursday. Joe C., Big Leon Cersei got Matt back in the building after that trip to Vegas with USA Today Sports. RJ cranking it out. We got a chance to win Jets tickets. Is that right, RJ?
That is correct, Joe.
Okay. All right, so we're going to give those away at the end of this seg with a opportunity for you to go see Mac Jones, Jacksonville grown, lead this football team maybe to another dub over another 3-10 team in the National Football League. So stick around for that. We'll give you a chance to win those tickets coming up in just a bit, courtesy of the flagship home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. All right, so I want to get back to the schedule real quick in the SEC because we definitely we talked about the playoff and they mentioned the schedule and we mentioned whether or not SEC leaders like Greg Sankey are going to be happy that they play week in, week out some of the toughest and biggest ball games. We're talking huge ratings for these games, big ratings. And yet they're the ones that are kind of getting, in their mind, maybe a few teams not invited to the big party that they wanted. But Texas is going to go into Georgia next season, November 15th. That's going to be a big, huge atmosphere for that game. You've got a handful of other games that you can look forward to. Alabama and Georgia will play in Athens September 27th. You're talking about a rematch of what looked like Kalen DeBoer's coming out party when they were up by, 4 scores in that game. And then Georgia came storming back. It was one of the great ones to watch. Bulldogs will face Alabama then. They'll have Ole Miss October 18th, Texas November 15th. You start adding all that up for the current SEC champion, that's pretty good. They also, when you take a look at the way the schedule unfolds, after opening this season in Atlanta against Clemson, they're going to open next season against Marshall. So did they take a step back with that big ball game? I don't know. You would certainly say on the face, Clemson versus Marshall, Leon, hell yeah, they took a step back. Yeah. But they still play a meaty schedule, not to mention the Florida schedule and a handful of others. So it'll be tough.
This is the SEC argument. It's not only the schedule, they're the games that people want to watch. Mm-hmm. Okay, and this season and the television ratings, okay, Nielsen just came out with their top 10 schools of who people watch. 8 of the 10. Mm-hmm. 8 of the 10 are SEC schools. The other 2 are Ohio State and Michigan.
Okay, all right.
I'll go from top 1 to 10, okay? Georgia is 1. 8.6 million viewers per game. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and it wasn't that long ago that you were saying you used the number 4 million eyeballs.
Right.
It's now double.
4 million is the point where television execs see where they start to get advertising dollars back. Mm-hmm. 4 million that's the big game.
Yeah.
That's where you make your money, okay? Number 2 is Ohio State, 6.8. 3 is Alabama. These aren't going to surprise you, 6.6. Mm-hmm. 4 is Texas, 6.4. 5 is Tennessee, 5.4. Michigan's next, 5.2. Then Texas A&M, 4.9. Mm-hmm. Then LSU, 4.8. Then, you ready for this? The program. Mm-hmm. Kentucky, 4.5. Now, Kentucky played Georgia, Texas, Ole Miss, Florida.
Mm-hmm. Big games.
Those are big games.
Yeah.
And 10 is Florida, 4.3.
Mm-hmm. And I wonder if Florida was behind Kentucky for they still played in a lot of big ball games.
Texas, Georgia,
Ole Miss, LSU.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they were a little bit
they were
behind.
also, in half those games, they were terrible. Mm-hmm. They didn't turn it on, Ole Miss, LSU. In fact, Ole Miss and LSU probably upped their ratings.
Yeah, might have.
Their average rating.
Yeah, might have. But that Miami game was on with so much hope, and then it didn't pan out the way that they were.
But that did a good rating, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I don't doubt it. Yeah.
Even though it was, a butt whooping from
right,
from
like
the
there
get.
was so much hope attached to that, so it had a big rating, and then it just got mollywopped, and then they looked like they were going down the drain fast in the month of September. You take a look at some of these games next year. Alabama does not leave the state for its final 5 games. They will have LSU, Oklahoma, and then here's one of their softies that they have had on the schedule, and they're going to have to maybe figure it out. But anyway, they got Georgia State still on the schedule because that's always been the game right before the rivalry game, right before the Iron Bowl. You would have that layup.
That's what they always do.
But in the case of Florida this past year, they had Ole Miss before taking on FSU because of the way the schedule worked. But
the problem with Alabama is they've got a softie to begin the season too.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
So now their non-conference schedule also looks a little. You didn't get that joke, did you? I mean, I literally set you up for that joke.
Well, I didn't hear it. Do it again. I heard the softie was all I heard.
Well, look at Alabama's schedule.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to look for. As soon as you said it, I'm like, wait a minute. What am I looking for?
I believe it's the first game.
Just give it to me.
Is it not Florida State?
Because we need to get into Florida State just a little bit. All right, let me see if I can find Alabama. Oh, come on. Whenever you start messing around with this 2025 schedule, they want to keep taking you back to 2024. And so I don't know.
Florida State. They play Florida State. They got to play in tally.
So what is up with Florida State right now? Real quick, give us the story in USA Today Sports that you wrote because FSU decided to pull a George Costanza on everybody. They're gonna, I didn't quit.
It was very strange. It was just very strange. It just You know, I mean, you're talking about a university that is suing the ACC. They're suing the ACC to get out of the ACC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now they're saying that they never really wanted to leave. Mike Alford told me yesterday, you know, you look back, our president and me, we never said we wanted to leave. And I'm like, you're suing the league.
And that's the athletics director at FSU.
Yeah, it says it in the lawsuit that you submitted to the court. You went out. You had a board of trustees meeting where you said the board of trustees said they gave you till a specific time frame to get out of the league.
Mm-hmm.
One of your board of trustees members, Drew Weatherford, who, by the way, is a sharp dude.
Mm-hmm.
He runs his own capital venture company. He's a sharp dude. He was one of the presenters there at that in Vegas. Really, really sharp dude. Even he who said it's not if we're going to leave the ACC. It's a matter of when and how. And now when I asked him yesterday, he was like, you know, there are things we can do. You know, if we could make it work in the ACC, that'd be great. If not, then we have to look at something else. Mm-hmm. But their tune has changed completely now. Well, and it's changed because they don't have anywhere to go. They can't go to the Big Ten. They can't go to the SEC. The problem is all those FSU fans, and look, you guys may think we hate you. We love you, okay? You guys are listening to some loon on Twitter telling you that the Big Ten wants you.
Said, no, we don't.
It's not true. The guy's got a little shell game for you, and you guys are all falling for it. Mm-hmm. It's not true. So that's the problem. Like this one dude on Twitter, for some reason, has everybody in Knoll Nation up in arms about. Of course, they're going to the Big Ten. They wouldn't be doing all this if they didn't have a thing. They didn't have a whatever you want to call it, backroom deal with the Big Ten. Mm-hmm. Or they just thought they were going to get out and people were going to come after them. And guess what? They didn't.
Yeah, I think at that point, you have to remind yourself of the activity, the chatter, the talk, the thought, all the stuff that was going on back then was that, yeah, there were going to be super conferences that were going to be born out of all this, that realignment was going to shake and wake the college football world.
Yeah, but you can't.
So they basically thought there would be suitors coming for them. And you want to talk about a really bad hand to play?
You cannot make a move like that. Where you are literally suing your conference and think, oh, yeah, somebody's going to look at us and say, yeah, let's go get Florida State. The Big Ten was not interested because the Big Ten's thinking, all right, well, they didn't get their way in the ACC, so they're suing the ACC. What if they don't get their way in the Big Ten? Then what will they do?
Well, this is always the old argument. Well, if you keep firing those guys early, why would I want to come? Because I'm going to get fired early, too. At some point, you get someone to come your way because you're still an attractive place to come and coach. Florida State thought they were still an attractive team.
They are.
And they are.
They are. The problem is, look, they are a very attractive team. That's not even the question, okay? Not a question at all. And I agree with every argument they make. I agree with it. They're exactly right. They're in a situation where the top they can end up with is $42 million a year, whereas Florida and everyone else in their southeast footprint is getting $72 to $75 a year. Yeah. So their point is it's untenable. At some point,
competitive disadvantage.
Yes, it's a competitive disadvantage, and I agree with everything they're saying. Mm-hmm. They just went about it so poorly, the way they went about trying to change the whole concept of how much they're making and what they can make, and it's just
that is President AD.
Oh
board
my gosh, just terrible decisions by them.
All right, we'll wrap our show up. You got the Francis Show coming up at 2:00. Jaguars programming at 4 right here on the Superstation.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Prime Time on 1010XL.
We're H-A-P-P-Y, H-A-P-P-Y, because Happy Honda Days are here. Everything is bigger. Bigger selection, bigger discounts, bigger trade-in values. Honda, quality, value, safety. Don't miss Happy Honda Days, going on now at your local Honda dealer.
Joe C. for Preferred Roofing, Preferred Builders. With a competitive market out there, it really doesn't matter what you're talking about. You're shopping for something, you're going to see a lot of people competing for your business. Well, Preferred Roofing, Preferred Builders, they know how important it is to offer you quality and price and delivery. All those things come along with when you're trying to win someone's business, and they do it all the time. They want to make sure that they give you what you expect because it's your hard-earned money that you're spending. So trust them. Take a local company and put them to the test and see what they can do for you. PreferredRoofingJacks.com, especially when you need roof replacement. Make sure it's done properly. And for remodels, additions, and brand new homes, check out PreferredBuildersJacks.com.
Interested in a unique date night? Gibby here. I took my wife Nikki to Wick a Candle Bar. She made her own custom candle right there in the store. Shop local at Wick a Candle Bar. Locations in San Marco and Jax Beach.
This holiday season, give the gift of comfort and joy. Comfort food and the joy that comes with digging into a huge plate of diner favorites from Metro Diner. And to make things even more merry, now through the end of the year, they're adding on a $10 bonus card with every $50 spent on gift cards. Metro Diner gift cards are the perfect gift for everyone on your list. Friends, family, or coworkers. Stop by the diner or metrodiner.com and get all your gift shopping done easily. Happy holidays from Metro Diner.
Don't make a bad call when it comes to servicing your home. Cooling off with a baby pool in the house to fix your air conditioning problem is a bad call. Trying to catch a wave in a flooded bathroom is a bad call. Using a burning electrical panel to make s'mores is a bad call. The next time something goes wrong, make a good call to Donovan.
Whether you need air, electric, or plumbing service, Donovan is always a good call. It's why we've been trusted by our customers for almost 40 years and why you can trust us to deliver fast, reliable service to your home. Donovan, always a good call.
Visit DonovanAC.com today.
Icebreakers Bar and Grill in the Community First Igloo is the coolest place in town for lunch and dinner. Watch the game with a wide selection of local beers, cocktails, wings, burgers, ribs, and more. Enjoy with family and friends at Emerson and I-95.
We heard you loud and clear, Jags fans, and we're taking it back to the 90s again. The Prowler throwback jerseys return to the field Sunday, December 15th, when your Jaguars take on the New York Jets. Be at the bank to see them in action while joining us for our Inspire Change game. To lock in your seats, head to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We'll see you at the bank.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On December 12, 1965, Chicago Bears halfback Gale Sayers ties the NFL record for most touchdowns in a game with 6 in the Bears' victory over the 49ers.
Joint replacement surgery is always a tough decision, but relief from chronic pain may be just around the corner. Dr. George Barry here, and there's a lot to consider to make sure you get the proper diagnosis and best path back to the range of motion and mobility you had. Age, lifestyle, and overall health all play a part. Let the team at Barry Orthopedics give you a full analysis to help you make the best decision. Log on to BarryOrthopedics.com or call the office to make an appointment. With offices across Jacksonville and ready to help you feel good again, we'll get you back on the road to recovery at Barry Orthopedics.
It's football season, and Uber Eats is dropping undefeated deals on all your game day favorites. This week, score a free medium 2-topping Domino's pizza with minimum purchase, only on Uber Eats. Craving even more? We've got you covered with game day deals on burgers, tacos, wings, and more, all season long. Order Uber Eats now. Terms, taxes, and fees apply. See app for details.
Come on, admit it. Almost everyone you know seems to be playing pickleball now, right? So whether you just want to learn how to play or you're ready to show off your elite pickleball skills, the Y is the place for you. Visit our brand new McGuire Family Pickleball Center at the Brown Family YMCA in Ponte Vedra Beach. 5 top quality outdoor courts and 3 amazing indoor courts where you can learn about dinks, dill ball, falafel, the kitchen, and more pickleball slang at the Y.
Mia here for MyBookie. Our listeners have been killing it in a year full of surprises. MyBookie is the one book that's got your back. No fluff, no second guessing, straight up action. Does your other sports book pay out when you push on a bet? MyBookie pays you back. And if you're new to the game and not sure where to start, we've got you covered. Step 1, use our promo code 1010XL. That will double your bankroll with a 100% deposit bonus right from the jump. Here's a pro tip to get you rolling. The NFL teams with powerhouse offensive lines are dominating the run game this year, and betting game total unders has been printing money. Stack that with MyBookie's risk-free Thursdays. Why wait? That's right there, a new risk-free odds boost every Thursday. To find the bet, click the Bet Boost tab and scroll down. If it hits, you win. If it doesn't, MyBookie refunds your money. Sign up now and get your double deposit bonus with MyBookie, the best sign-up bonus for Florida bettors. Bet anything, anytime, from anywhere with MyBookie.
David here with Royal Pest Services. Here's a special message from our president.
Thanks, David. This is Jordan Harrington, president of Royal Pest Services. We'd like to thank everyone who has trusted Royal Pest for their pest control needs this year. Wishing all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from the Royal Pest family.
This is Dr. Steve Crenshaw, assistant team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Jaguars linebacker Foye Oluokun on the key to the matchup against Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers.
It's really focusing on ourselves because, if you're in the wrong spot, I feel like that's what he exploits, and he knows what looks to expect, especially you put so much film out this part of the year. So just owning our calls, I think, is always going to be important against a very witty quarterback, and then being in the right place and tackling. I think tackling, keeping to second and long, third and long on check downs, but I know he knows when to throw that check down. And then you can, take advantage of the pass rush if we got some dialed up, get him off the spot. I think that's the way to win the game.
Foye Oluokun on Aaron Rodgers. Jags Jets Sunday at 1 with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update. I'm Andrew Gibson.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
All right, my takeaway is the college football brackets, strength of schedule should be in play. All right, Alabama played a tough schedule, played a game of the year in my estimation when they played Georgia. That was one of the most outstanding games I saw this whole year. So you factor that in. I hope what it doesn't happen is deter SEC teams to go out of schedule and play those elite games in week 0 or week 1. So strength of schedule is in play. In my assessment, Alabama should have gotten in if it came down to Alabama and Miami. That hurts to say, but it's
not Alabama and SMU. You think SMU should have gotten in? You think that was fair?
Yeah, I think that was fair.
Okay.
That keeps it clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my takeaway, I'm going to piggyback on that because my takeaway is I don't think we should panic. It's just one season. Let's let it play out a little bit. And I think that's why all the SEC people have been kind of reserved about this because, quite frankly, if Tennessee goes to Columbus and loses, if Texas gets upset by Clemson, both those teams could happen.
Right.
Right? I mean, I actually think Clemson is not terrible. They are the worst of the conference champions. There's no doubt about that. If Texas loses that game, that will be the all-time Texas gag. But
we have named a couple of teams that have gag potential.
No doubt.
Penn State.
No doubt. Not only that, and I also think that the SEC is kind of like a little bit stepping back because, I mean, look at Georgia. Georgia now has a backup quarterback.
Yeah.
Georgia could be out in the quarterfinals.
Mm-hmm.
So they could literally be out every team but Texas after the quarterfinals. So I think they're a little hesitant.
It's funny because we'll just stay on that as the main takeaway. When you think of the possibility of excitement and then what we just said, that gag potential, you can throw Ohio State in there with gag potential.
I think they're going to win it all.
Well, I know you said that the other day.
I really do.
Well, and I'm just going to ask the dumb question because I'm in charge of dumb questions. What's convinced you they're going to win it all?
Because they're not playing Michigan, man. Because they're the most talented team, and they're not playing Michigan. And I think I go back to that game a few years ago when they played Georgia in the Sugar Bowl when everybody thought they shouldn't be in the tournament, but for a just terrible call that wasn't called on Marvin Harrison Jr. And then the kid missed a 50-yard field goal in the last play of the game. They'd have won it.
You can certainly pull on that.
They'd have beaten Georgia, then they would have won the national title.
Right.
So
you can pull. But it's all the other fails that they've had.
No, I know. But my point is they were so fired up for that game. They played better than a Georgia team that had more talent than them that was better than them.
And look, C-Bus may win it all. But I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, and we even argued because I thought Will Howard would come in there and do some good things. Half the year he did do some good things.
Yeah, he's actually had a good year.
Yeah, half the year Chip Kelly called some great games. But
except for that one game.
But my gosh, man, you can't have that bad of a Michigan team in your house and perform like that and expect that you're just going to turn and burn after that. That was embarrassing. And so I look at it, Tennessee could easily be the one that just breaks their heart. But Tennessee also has to prove.
And the weather's not bad. high of 47 in Columbus, low of I think 38 or something. So
and
it's not
Tennessee
bad.
has to improve that they can get over the hurdle.
Yes,
because they had the big ball game earlier in the year. They beat Alabama. They were taking care of business. They had a 10-0 lead against Georgia. Yeah, 10-0, and couldn't hold it. And so they easily could be the gag order, either them or the Buckeyes. You obviously take a look at Notre
Gunnar
Dame.
Stockton with Georgia. That's another huge gag potential.
Yes, but give Gunnar credit. Second half of that game, they came out, they moved down the field, they did what they needed to do to get at the very least trailing 17-0 to get back in that game, and pull themselves back in. So you have to give them credit. But the Texas one, I agree with you that there's gag potential there. Penn State, there's gag potential. You take a look at Notre Dame, whoever they played has been the talk.
They're not losing to Indiana.
I think
No
they're
way.
really good. I think they're.
I think Notre Dame's good. They're not losing to Indiana.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. I think
If Indiana wins that game, you got to start reassessing, man.
Leon, we're talking about it yesterday at Southampton. There was some Hoosier love riding around the golf club, and so they were fired up for it. And I would love to see a great game, but I maintain Marcus Freeman has handled his promotion better than Brian Kelly has in leaving and going to Baton Rouge, because he's been able to go back-to-back with good quarterbacks. He's obviously been able to put them in the college football playoff when it expanded to 12, and Brian Kelly wasn't able to get the job done. So at the very least right now, Marcus Freeman, he's basically screaming Charlie Sheen, winning right now, and we'll find out whether or not he can keep doing it. So anyway, it's interesting to see. You see any more gag potential, Leon, that's out there? Because I don't see Clemson beating Texas.
No, I don't either. I don't see them beating Texas.
And Texas did look good for a majority of that ball game the other night. Another game that Georgia started a little slow. Texas was up, and then Georgia did exactly what they needed to do when that critical time showed up, which is so Georgia this year.
I could so see SMU going into Happy Valley winning. I'm calling that one.
I can too, because I think they're very athletic and they're fast. Like, they are not going to match up physically with Penn State, and that's the problem, because it's going to be cold and it's going to be very hard for that speed and athleticism to be a difference in that game. Like, Penn State's going to want to rough it up, and if they do, SMU's in trouble. There's no doubt about that. So they're going to need a turnover or two, and they're going to need to kind of a couple funky plays here and there. But I think they can win the game. Yeah, I totally think they can.
You go to the number that we keep repeating as far as what James Franklin has done or hasn't done in these big ball games, and he can't get away from it. He can't hide from it, and this is going to be one that will get a lot of people off his rear end if they do win this game. If they don't, oh man, because what is it, 1-13 against top 5 teams, I believe is what it is.
Yeah.
And so now, actually, I take that back, 1-14.
Probably because they lost just in the Big Ten championship game.
Yeah.
Who's got more pressure, Franklin or Day?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I mean, probably Day, just because they lost for the 4th time to Michigan. So probably Day. But, I mean, if SMU goes into Happy Valley and wins that game, oh, boy.
Well, okay.
Oh, boy, that's not good.
Well, if Ohio State doesn't make it
they're not
past,
going to fire him. He makes too much money.
but
They
I'm
owe
saying,
too much on
But
him.
what about Ryan Day? If they don't make it past the first round, could Ryan Day be gone?
A lot of people think he can. I don't think they will.
No. Okay.
I mean, that's how do you fire a guy like that? That's had so much success like that. I just don't think you can.
Yeah, it makes it really, really tough. Given what he has done, it's the teams that he can't beat that are driving him crazy. It's the team that after Harbaugh left, he was supposed to beat. The Sharon Moore-led Michigan team, not nearly as good.
And who are you going to get that's better than him? They're not getting Marcus Freeman. Marcus Freeman, who's an Ohio State alum, is not leaving Notre Dame.
That's the classic.
So who are you going to get that's better than him?
Yeah, the classic question is, okay, we know you want to get rid of a guy, but who are you going to get?
And I'm not sure that Marcus Freeman is a better coach than him. So I mean, I don't know that it's a bad situation all around, because the 4 losses to Michigan is really that's really overshadowing everything he's done.
Right.
And he's brought them to the playoff. He's brought them.
Consistently.
Twice they've had a team that could have won the national title and didn't, for whatever reason. So they're there. They're right there. It's just a matter of breaking through right now for them.
All right. We'll find out. That's what makes it fun. All right, RJ, make it fun for the fans right now, because we're going to give away a pair of tickets to Jags Jets. And you can be in the stadium, courtesy of 1010XL, for Sunday's action. So all you got to do is call RJ 641-1010. Let's take caller. What was it, a 4-point win? Let's take caller number 4. 641-1010 for your Jaguars as they take on the Jets. We are done. We say thanks to Corona. Get you a cold one. The weekend starts on Thursday as far as we're concerned. Tomorrow we'll be on the road up in beautiful Fernandina Beach, Mokama Beer Company. So we'll see you there. Definitely drop on by if you are up in Nassau County. Joe C., Matty Hayes, Big Surge, you're off for a couple days.
Yep.
Enjoy yourself.
You got it.
And we will talk to you next week. It is XL Primetime. Get ready for the Francis Show.
Everyone wants to doubt Jacksonville. Never doubt Jacksonville.